Namaskar friends, I am Professor Shashank Nadkarni and I am working as an assistant professor English at Government MLC Girls PG College Khandwa. I am submitting this presentation as my course assignment during the third faculty induction program conducted by UGC DAVV HRDC, and I am very thankful for the able guidance of my course director Namrata ma'am and course coordinator Nisha Siddiqui ma'am, Surendra Malvi sir, Sunny Raikwar sir, Wasim Khan sir, as well as the other team members. Friends, my presentation is based on one of the famous tragedy of William Shakespeare, that is Macbeth. The full title is Tragedy of Macbeth. This tragedy is very important for the students of English literature. Now we are going to study what are the learning outcomes after reading this important tragedy, and that is the first is able to understand the underlying theme of Macbeth, one of the most popular tragedy of Shakespeare. The student can very well understand what is the underlying theme, and the other outcome is can understand different characters in the play and their intricate relationship with each other. So let's move to the introduction section now. This tragedy's introduction, we can say that Macbeth is the full title, the tragedy of Macbeth. This tragedy of William Shakespeare is first performed in 1606, and the tragedy is very important because it portrays the physical and psychological effects of political ambition of the person who blindly run before power. This tragedy clearly reflects Shakespeare's own relationship with his ruler and is published in 1623. Now we start with Act 1, Scene 1. You can see three witches, and these witches appear on a Scottish moor in the storm, and in a very weird and very airy tones, these witches are talking to each other, and they plans to meet Macbeth. As quickly as they arrive, they suddenly disappear. Now we'll move to scene 2 of Act 1. In this scene, there is a military camp near the King Duncan's palace, the King of Scotland, and he is inquiring about the war from a wounded captain. The Scots and Irish invaders are fighting, and the Irish invaders are leading by the rebel Macdonald. The captain, who was wounded, replies that the Scottish general Macbeth and Banquo, both of them are fighting with great courage in the battle. The other Scottish nobleman, Thane of Rose, suddenly enters and tells the king that the traitorous Thane of Cawdor, that is Macdonald, has been defeated and the army of Norway has fled from the battlefield. Duncan decrees that the Thane of Cawdor, the traitors, must be put to death. And now we will move to the scene 3. With the thunder lightning, the witches again reappear, and they encounter Macbeth and Banquo, who are returning from the battlefield. The witches make three prophecies meeting them. The first two regarding Macbeth and the last regarding Banquo. The first is Macbeth shall be named as Thane of Cawdor, and then the other is he will become the king. Banquo, though, would not become the king, but he will be the father of the future generation of king who will going to rule Scotland. Witches, after making this prophecy, suddenly vanish into air, and on the scene, Rose and Angus, two gentlemen, arrive and confirm that Macbeth has been named as the Thane of Cawdor. The first prophecies come true. Now we will move to the scene 4 of Act 1. In this scene, what we see that Duncan is very happy. The traitorous Cawdor has been executed from his son Malcolm. Macbeth and Banquo both enter the scene, and Duncan welcomes the two victorious general, and they profess their loyalty and gratitude towards Duncan. Duncan announces his intention to name Malcolm as heir to his kingdom. Macbeth outwardly declares his joy, but what he notices in himself that Malcolm is the hurdle who is standing between him and the crownship. Now Duncan declares his plan to dine at Macbeth's castle that evening, and Macbeth goes on ahead of the royal party to inform his wife, Lady Macbeth, to prepare for the royal dinner that has to be hosted in the king's honor. And here we comes to the end of Act 1, and this is a very important act, as it is the very beginning and very background of the coming events that are going to become in the life of Macbeth.